How's it going, guys? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer coming at you with another video. So a few things to talk about here. The first thing is I got a little bit of video to show you here of my trip up in the mountainous region of Gatineau, Quebec. So as you can see here, like I said, lots of crazy bends, twists, and turns within the road. So yeah, if you ever get the chance to come up here, it's a great region to explore. There's lots to look at, lots of sightseeing. If you're a fan of the great outdoors, wilderness, fishing, mountain climbing, you name it, great food, kayaking, boating. There's lots to do up in the Quebec region. It's a fantastic place to visit. And then if you go further east, eventually you're going to hit Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and you can even cross over to the U.S. side where they have obviously Maine, getting closer to Boston. So lots of great areas in and around where I live, not too far away, only a couple of hours away. So hopefully maybe in a year or two, I wouldn't mind taking a trip down near Maine. I was there when I was younger and I really enjoyed it, so I wouldn't mind checking it out. I'd like to check out Nantucket. That would be incredible as well. So yeah, just a little bit of video there just to give you guys a taste of what's to offer in the Quebec, the Gatineau region. So other than that, 1 minute. Hello?
Just give it to you raw.
You ain't giving anything to me raw. Fuck that, man. You're sick in the fucking head. So, yeah, speaking of that guy, Potion Sword Run, the Geek Getaway, and Darius Truxton, the guy who lost his channel today. Those guys are all completely jealous of my success. They can't handle that I've gained new subscribers on the channel. Look, I don't know what's going on with the channel. Either the subscribers are legitimate or somebody bought them and sent them my way to try to frame me. I have no idea. If that's the case, then we'll find out in a couple of days because those subscribers will fall off. I reached out to Team YouTube last night and I told them what was going on with the channel. I said, can you take a look into this? I don't know what's going on. And they're like, yeah, we've seen this before. It is possible to get a couple of videos that, hit the algorithm, so to speak, and get put into the recommendations. And it's not uncommon to get a crazy spike of new subscribers. So we'll see. We'll see in a couple of days, right? If they're not legit and they fall off, then obviously something's up. But I can tell you for damn sure I didn't purchase them. I really don't care if somebody else did and sent them my way. I don't give a fuck. Because if they did that, like I said, they're going to fall off. But I don't think you can purchase views. That's the only thing. So, if you're going to accuse me of purchasing subscribers, explain to me how I purchased the views, right? And why would I purchase subscribers when I was this close to 1,000? Why would I even do that? And if you were to purchase subscribers, why would I purchase a random number like 763? They didn't all come at once. They came a little bit. And then even today, it's still happening. At one point, I refreshed it and it was up another 20. So who the fuck knows? Maybe there's older videos of mine that are now being put into the recommendations. I have no idea. I know I've got some evergreen content as well. But all the same, you see these small-time YouTubers. We all have small channels, irregardless, right? For these YouTubers to come out bitching and moaning about my numbers, right? That doesn't make me look bad. You know what that does? That makes them look petty and jealous. That's what it looks like. They'd be better off just not saying a fucking word. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, right? Keep an eye out. Maybe those subscribers will fall off in a couple days. But if they don't, then obviously they're legit, right? So we'll find out, right? So the meat and potatoes of today's video, what I really wanted to talk about And believe me, this is getting somewhere. I want to talk about how technology in a lot of ways is ruining society. So I had a little bit of a conversation with Marceau last night on our live stream about this, but I wanted to talk about it a little bit more. You know, as you guys know, I'm a car guy, and I'm a fan of, muscle cars, even the hot hatches, if you will. There's something to be said about a motor, all the mechanical parts moving inside the motor, making things happen. The exhaust coming out of the exhaust pipe. Nothing like having a nice set of dual exhaust on the back of a car. And this is all going away because of EVs. We're getting the electric vehicles now. Gone are the days of a nice set of chrome dual exhaust coming out the back of the car. These cars don't have exhaust. These cars don't have personality. They don't have style. Okay, most of these EVs, if not all of them, are very plain to look at, not attractive. They're meant to be disposable. It's unfortunate. That's just the way it is, right? Now, it's going to be years and years and years, decades before we're all driving EVs, okay? You got to imagine, even with the public wanting to buy these EVs, I think they said there's close to 10% of the general population actually has them. The other 90% we're still driving gasoline vehicles. And that's not even taking into consideration EMT services, police officers, ambulances, fire trucks, helicopters in the sky, airplanes, garbage trucks, transports on the road. It'll be fucking decades. It'll be 50, 60, 70 years before we're all driving electric, right? But, needless to say, I think it's safe to say, maybe, you'll be quick to point out that I'm trying to sound all masculine, but the car as we know it, love and know it today, it's disappearing before our very own eyes, unfortunately. So yeah, I understand the importance of the electric vehicle, good for the environment, I get that, but it's rather unfortunate that we can't have some of these characteristics from the vehicles that we know today carry over to these EVs. I get it. They're not going to have dual exhaust because there's no gasoline in the vehicle. But for fuck's sakes, could you not just put something on there that looks like an exhaust? So, that leads me to what happened yesterday. There was a huge outage in Canada regarding debit machines. And this wasn't even just in Ontario. This was in other provinces as well. Most retail outlets, gas stations, convenience stores, grocery stores, they were accepting cash only at one point because there was a huge outage with Rogers, which is a huge telecommunications company in Canada, and it was either a hack or something went down, and obviously these debit machines utilized a wire. They use the internet, right? So this Rogers, provides internet to a lot of these terminals. So unfortunately, I left in the morning to go to work, and I went to Tim Hortons to get a coffee. Cash only. Luckily, I had $5. Then on my way to work, my gas light came on my vehicle because I didn't fill up the night before. So I went to get gas. Gas stations taking cash only. I don't have any more fucking cash on me. So then I had to go to the bank and get some cash and go back to the gas station and fill up. So I know these things are unavoidable, but again, this is technology rearing its ugly head. You remember back in the day, folks, all we had was cash, right? Back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And now that we're so reliant on technology, look what happens when there's a fucking outage. Nobody carries cash anymore. It's a huge inconvenience. Then everybody goes to the fucking bank machine to get cash. Then the bank machine has all out of cash and you can't get money. It's a big fucking shit show. Then I go over to Subway on my lunch break to get a sub. And I got a sub and I got myself a plastic cup to get a soda drink out of the soda machine. And you remember back in the day, you'd be able to just put your plastic cup up to the machine and push against the metal prong, right? And the soda would come out. No, it's not like that anymore. You go to Subway and they have this big touch screen machine, right? I don't know if it's running on Android or what. But I went to touch it to press the soda that I wanted to select, and nothing was happening. So I said to the employee, I said, there's nothing happening here. It's not working. And he says to me, he's like, oh, that's been happening a lot lately. We have to reboot the machine, and that usually fixes it. So I'm like, holy fuck. So he reboots the soft drink machine. Then a DOS screen pops up, and then an hourglass, and it's loading. And like 5 minutes later, I'm finally able to get soda out of the machine and be on my way. See what I'm saying? The older machines, this wouldn't have even been a fucking problem. So again, technology rearing its ugly head. A lot of, companies and manufacturers are relying on this sort of haptic feedback, touch screens, if you will. And it's just not as good as an actual button. Like I know in the new, some of the new Mercedes vehicles, like the C-Class that just came out, the 2023 C-Class, and even the S-Class, when you want to open up the moonroof in the vehicle, at the top on the roof liner, it's no longer a button. It's touch screen. So you have to slide your finger across, and there's already complaints from the general public. They're like, we're sliding our finger across, and the sunroof's not opening, or it's opening all the way and I only want it to go halfway. Whereas back in the day, you'd have the button, you could just press it along and stop and go, but not with this stupid fucking haptic feedback and everything, right? And now they got some of the vehicles where you get into them and it recognizes your thumbprint. Well, that can cause a huge issue as well. It's just not the same as using a regular fucking key. So yeah, technology's good in some ways, but it's bad in other ways, right? We've talked about this before, and it's like that with video games as well. With the more modern consoles, you're having fun with them right now. It's a here today, gone tomorrow experience. With my Xbox One as an example, always got to be connected to the internet. Live updates, a lot of these games aren't even completely on the disc, like Cyberpunk as an example, or even Red Dead Redemption 2. Think about it for a second. 20 years from now, when you go to hook up an Xbox One or an Xbox Series console, the internet that we're using 20 years from now may not even be the same type of internet that we're using today. It may not even be the same. Okay? Wi-Fi as we know it today might be completely different down the road. Okay? The OS, the front loading, whatever you want, the front end, on these consoles that's tailored to recognize the internet of today, it may not work 20 years from now. These consoles might be completely fucking paperweights. So, hopefully at that point we've got some emulations or some emulators on the computer that can run some of these current gen games as we see it today, because otherwise we're going to be completely screwed. Whereas a lot of these older consoles, kind of analog, if you will, the SNES, the Sega Genesis, PS2, original Xbox, there's not much to them, let's be honest. But once you get into the Xbox 360, Xbox One and up, technology's rearing its ugly head, guys. It's not good. It's not good at all. So yeah, that was my rant on that. I am kind of old school. I wish we could go back and have things the way that they were. I know that's not a reality. I know a lot of you guys are using your smartphones as an e-wallet now, and you have all your credit card information on your phone. Well, what if your phone stops working? What if you run out of battery? You're fucked. You need to have physical cards in your wallet, right? So remember, if you're out there, always carry cash, because you never know when you're going to need it. So that's going to do it for me. I'll continue to thrive on this channel, and I'm glad you guys are tuning in. There's lots more content happening here, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great rest of your night. Take care.
That they get so close to at 980, 950, and they just need a little bit more subs, just to get over the 1,000 barrier, to be monetized, or just to, feel like you succeeded or something. I don't know.